What's up, guys? It's John Dominique, the soul proponent. And on the path to the soul, I want to talk about this feeling that there's nothing left. This is a very deep, disturbing concept to even bring to our awareness. First of all, the path to the soul is a lot of emptiness. It's disorienting. People don't want to go near it. And on the story of Jesus, has his disciples scatter once he's arrested. That's the moral to the story, that when people find out about the soul, they don't want anything to do with it. They leave. They abandon the path. It's understandable because that nothingness, nobody knows how to deal with it. And most people think it's not a good thing to allow that nothingness, that emptiness, that feeling that nothing's left. It's not a good thing to dwell with it, to stay with it. Because it's very anti-instinctual. The instincts of the personality is to survive and to avoid and to resist, to deny at all costs. So there's a huge feeling that there's nothing left on the path to the soul. There's nothing. It's emptiness. It's blackness. It's a void. It's an abyss. Whatever you want to call it. There's multiple ways to think about it. But ultimately, you're going to be faced with this sooner or later. It's better to face it sooner. Most people just want to delay it, and that's kind of the thing that we have about time, because we're like, well, I'll wait till I'm dead to deal with it. But the more time we try to give ourselves to deal with it, the worse off we're going to be, because we're going to solidify and calcify the tendencies of the personality, and personality gets stronger with time. It finds more ways to solidify itself, solidify its existence, to make things more concrete. Rarely will you see anybody who's willing to allow and accept the fact that there's going to be nothing left. And it's a quite literal nothing left. It's like being thrown in outer space and just being floating out there in space and just keep going without the hope of anything surviving at all. You're going to disappear. You're going to be annihilated. You're going to be wiped out of existence. That's the feeling you get. And I say this a lot, but I say it for a reason, because people think that, okay, I'll just go in there maybe once or twice to see what it's about, but eventually you're gonna get terrified enough to be like, oh, I'm never going back in there again. So doing it once or twice is helpful, but you can get a taste, an idea of what it's like. But eventually you're gonna have to face it multiple times over and over again. At least that's what occurred to me on my path, and I'm willing to bet a lot of other people are going to have similar experience, because it's not just a one-time thing. The path of the soul is consistent every day, letting go and understanding that there's not going to be anything left. Like I said, it's very disturbing, very disheartening. It feels like a feeling of hopelessness and despair, very, very desperate to avoid feeling this feeling that nothing is left. Nobody wants to go near it. But I tell you, it's the opposite. Now, the only way you can find out that it's the opposite is by actually doing it for yourself. Don't take my word for it. I don't want anybody to believe me. People think like, oh, I'm trying so hard to convince people about the soul and all this. I'm not. All I'm trying to convince you is to go find out for yourself. I can't do that for you. You have to do that. But I know for a fact that if I had known, if someone came and told this information to me beforehand, it would have made it easier for me. So that's why I'm out here making these videos for people. I'm out here for other people's benefits. It's not for me. This is for other people, so that they can understand and they can know God, because God is a real thing. But the path to God is treacherous. It's more dangerous than you would expect. And that nothing is leftness, I mean, on a level, there's such a huge level of that feeling is nothing left. Like, you almost have to crave that feeling that nothing is left more and more and more and more. Once you find out what it's about and you see how it works, that's all you want in life. You're like, I don't care about anything else. But you have to get to the point of, first of all, being comfortable with it, understanding it, knowing what it's about, and knowing that it's going to be a theme that's going to pop up again and again and again, over and over and over, until you're completely erased. That's what it's like on the path to the soul. That feeling that nothing is left is very deep, very disturbing, very terrorizing, but it's possible. All things are possible with God. And that feeling that nothing is left, that emptiness, that nothingness, is actually the reverse. Eventually, you're going to come to find out that it's the reverse. It's actually a fullness. It's a presence and immaculate, but we're too small to see it. We can't see it because we're so small. You have to get really, really high and really, really, really deep into that feeling that nothing is left, into that blackness. You have to go out very, very far, as hard and as fast as you can, and continue to keep going it with all your strength, all your hope, all your determination, all your will. And it's very counterintuitive. Nobody in their right mind would do this. I got lucky because I got to the point in my life where I wanted to die, and something said, well, death isn't bad enough to make up for how bad you feel. You need something worse than death. The only thing worse than death was hell, and I literally kept trying to throw myself in what I thought was hell multiple times, over and over again, and to the point where I just gave up because it felt like, well, how worthless am I that I can't even go to hell? But in the end, I didn't get hell. I got heaven. And this is the truth that I'm relaying to you guys. This feeling that there's nothing is left, it can be overcome. Take it in little doses. Suspend the need to have anything. Suspend all of your instincts just for a few moments, just for a second. And you can continue to build on that. And you grow stronger. And eventually you'll get to your own spiritual awakening. And you'll realize that that feeling is nothing left is actually a good thing. People treat it like it's something bad, but it's actually a good thing. Without it, you wouldn't actually go on the path, because, you know, for me, I felt something was wrong. I just didn't know what it was. And if it weren't for that feeling that there's nothing left, I probably wouldn't actually be able to feel the reverse, that I have everything. In one of the Psalms, it says, the Lord is my shepherd, I lack nothing. And I multiply that to the 100,000's power. The path to the soul is a real thing. People, I encourage you to practice. Keep going on your path. Don't quit. John Dominique, the Soul Proponent. Peace.